Hello, everyone. My name is Nick. Welcome to Sincere Systems Group. Today, I will be presenting the company and what we do and how we can work together and make a good passive income through investment. Today, we will be studying a little bit about what investments are, what types of investments there are. We're going to be talking about compound interest. We're going to be talking about what Sincere Systems Group has to offer to its investors, to its partners, to team members. We're all one big happy family. So let's begin with why. The big question I hear a lot from partners and people who aren't in the investment, spectrum yet is, why should I invest? And I simply tell them, look, there are a lot of ways to make money in the world, right? One of them is working 9 to 5, sometimes more, and building a success stream. Sometimes it's, doing one thing at a time. Investing allows you to diversify what you do and earn a passive income, not only from, you doing your main thing, which is your job, going to your job, doing whatever it is you're doing, but it also allows you to experience something new, learn something new. It's mainly the knowledge aspect, actually, that I tell people, that you will find something that is completely new in terms of the digital age. We have, Forex bots and algorithms that work and make money for people. We've got the cryptocurrency scheme that is extremely, profitable at the moment. These are all relatively new things. These are things that came about in the span of the last 10 years. So it's more to develop yourself. That is the basic answer to that question. So let's talk about, our lives in terms of money. About till you're 22, you go through a trial period, I like to call, where, you experience childhood, you experience adolescence, you go through the ins and outs of college if you go to college, and if you don't, that's great, because you missed out on basically nothing, in my opinion. But between the ages of 22 and 60, you've got your investment period, the capital active period of your life. This is where you're building up to have a successful life, to, retire, if not early, then definitely with something that you can leave behind to your kids, to your family, to the future of your family, And the funny thing about this graph, if you notice in the very middle, it stops growing, So the big question you have, probably there, a lot of people don't notice it at first, is why the hell did it stop growing? Well, because that's how everything works. If you're building a career in an office job, which there's nothing wrong with that, that's great. If you love it, if you're doing a good job about it, then well done, that's great. I used to work office jobs. I just stopped liking them because I realized there's other ways that I like to make money. And you stop growing because we can all admit that you reach a point where, okay, fine, you started as an employee, and then you're going to management positions, and then you're going to regional director position. Then you go to the director, which will take around 20 years, if not more. And then we all know that not everyone makes it up there. It's not in everyone. Not everyone, spends 20 years in one company, to build up to a director level position. Now, this is where the growth stops. So you can be making, $5,000 right now. You could be making $100,000 in 20 years. But the point is that in those 20 years, you could be making a hell of a lot more. An apartment in Dubai, for example, does not cost $100,000. They cost much more than that. A nice car, expensive educations that you can afford for your kids, they cost a lot more than that. And these are things that you have to start thinking about, no matter what age you're at, because you got to realize that at some point in time, you're not going to be able to go to work physically. Even I hope that all of you are going to be able to go to work even if you're 70. In fact, I won't, God bless you guys. I hope we all live to a point where we can still move past when we're 75, 80 years old. And I think we can, definitely. But the point is that you want to achieve that stage much earlier. You want to achieve that retirement stage, not at 60. You want to achieve it much earlier. You want to achieve it at 22, to 30, at 35. If you're 40 and you started, diversifying and finding new ways to make passive income, then you want to get that, get that retirement level by 45. You don't want to get it by 60. You want to get it by 45, by 50. It's all relative. It depends on what you do and what your passions are. After 60, we all know you want to chill. You want to spend your money that you've been earning all your life. You want to, enjoy your family, spend more time. And hopefully you can do a lot of those things between the ages of 22 and 60 as well, because the only way you can do those is if you have a passive income. That means you don't have to work as much to provide and to have a successful and great life that you want. Anyways, so what types of investments exist? We've got real estate, bank deposits, precious metals, securities, bonds, cryptocurrencies, and forex rate speculation as one of them. I already said something, I believe, about diversification in my previous webinars and on my channel. There's not one way you can invest, but today we're analyzing a great way you can actually create a passive income. You can start creating a passive income today. And these are all just instruments. A lot of people who, and this is for those of you who are new to investment and those of you who aren't new as well. This is a great presentation because you can maybe learn some new things, or how like I answer people who ask me, hey, what type of other investments are there and what is the point? Well, the point is diversifying, right? You want to start with something that you can afford, that will make you some quick capital that you can then reinvest into something. You start with Sincere Group, and then you start buying cryptocurrencies, real estate, bank deposits. You start helping with the money that you earn at a job. And you slowly grow out your portfolio. Why? So that you're not scared to lose your job. You're not scared to lose something else. You're not scared to lose your apartment because you have 10 apartments. You're not scared to lose your business because you have 10 businesses. It's all about diversification. So these are all the types of, most of them, I believe, the main ones at least. So what is Forex? Forex is the foreign exchange market. For those of you who don't know, for many years now, and I'm sure you've experienced it at some point in your life, you've gone to an exchange and exchanged your rupee, your dirham, your ruble for dollars, right? Or you've done the opposite, So the foreign exchange market is a global moneymaker for a lot of people. It's a huge business. It's a huge business, and you can see the total turnovers on the graph here. They're only growing, and notice that they were growing between the period of 2007 and 2010, which is funny, right? Because there was an economic crisis back then. But the markets of foreign exchange, selling, depreciating and appreciating currencies between each other, that actually grew. And I always say this to a lot of partners as well, is that, you guys could have great jobs, but the one person who's going to be sitting on a beach, drinking a cocktail and, smoking a cigar, having a good time in an economic crisis is an investor. It's not going to be the guy who has a director job at, I don't know, at some hotel or something. It's not going to be that guy, because business is going to be down. People are going to lose their jobs. It's a very difficult time. I just remember like a little personal story as well. A lot of friends of mine when I was growing up, and their parents, right? Their parents, they were really scared of this. And I remember everyone talking about the economic crisis. The economic crisis, it's going to be horrible. We're going to lose our job. What are we going to do? We have to, take another loan. We got to, it's all this stress. And you hear this, obviously, and now I'm not the only one, I'm sure everyone's heard it, as a kid, like, what are we going to do? And it's this question that really sort of urges me not to go looking for a full-time job and working my entire life for one company, because it doesn't solve any problems, in my opinion. It doesn't solve any problems at all. Because when there is an economic crisis, you're the guy who's going to be scared. You're going to be worried about your job. It's very important to diversify. And I'm not saying go quit your job. Absolutely not. If you love what you do, if you see there's a point, if you see that it's making you money and you're happy with it, keep it going, keep growing. But at the same time, you have to diversify, right? You can't just rely on one job your entire life. You have to make sure you're growing it out in all branches. It's like a tree. A tree doesn't have one branch, it has many branches. So if you cut one off, nothing's going to happen. And this is a great example, actually. So let's talk about algorithms. Let's talk about a little bit about the digital age and how, it's surpassing the manual trading. So, traders on foreign exchange markets, they trade currencies based on how much they cost according to each other. It's, one day, the dollar is something appreciates or depreciates against the dollar. You buy or sell that as a trader, and you make money on the difference. So you buy low, sell high, and sell high, buy low, and so on. But why are computers and why are algorithms superseding that? Well, first and foremost, because of artificial intelligence nowadays, a lot of what goes on, and I'm not just talking about, in the technological aspect, we're talking about, network power and, all kinds of in telecommunications. A lot of talking about just basic things like, how many of you have probably, called like tech support and the voice that is answering to you is not a human being, but Jesus Christ, it sounds like a human being, and you start talking to it and it's just like, how can I help you? And it's just so real. And these are algorithms that run on artificial intelligence. They learn what you're talking about. They learn to better themselves over time. So the volume of data processed by the robot in minutes would take days or weeks for a team of 10 analysts. So one AI robot could do what 10 analysts of the professional analysts who've been doing this for years about, in a couple of days, something that would take them weeks. You don't have to pay robots. You don't have to, feed them. They don't get sick. You don't need to pay them salaries, so to speak. You can pay for their upkeep, but you don't need to pay them salaries. You don't have to work with them as much. You just need to make sure they work. And we'll never have, we shouldn't forget that computers as a whole are much faster than us at everything. They're much faster at calculating, depreciating and appreciating assets. They're much faster at calculating what portfolio is going to be better for you as an investor than we are. Even if you're a professional trader, yes, but the good thing and bad thing about the human factor is that, you give in to your emotions sometimes, which can be good, by the way, but sometimes it can be bad. And that's the big thing for traders that I believe you really have to have a lot of self-control and knowledge in order to succeed if you're going solo into the trading scheme, whether it's Forex, whether it's cryptocurrency, whatever it is. And instant performance. So robots take actions very quickly, decision-making, so on. You get the memo. Artificial intelligence advantages. Many banks and exchanges make redundant thousands of highly qualified traders, analysts, and risk managers investing millions of dollars in inventions based on artificial intelligence. So a lot of corporations nowadays actually, get rid of labor and employees because why would they need them? There's no logical point to keep 10 employees when you can install one program and that program can do what these 10 people are doing anyway. Sincere Systems has over 18,500 investors. We have investors from all over the world, more than 142 countries, and more than 15 legal entities. Now, over 75 employees work at Sincere Systems, and they develop the company on a daily basis. There are scheduled representative offices in 6 countries. That's Kazakhstan, Russia, Belarus, Germany, Estonia, and India. Moving on, let's talk a little bit more about, the internal aspects to what Sincere Systems is. Sincere Systems is partnered with an IT consultancy company called DDS Incorporated. Who these guys are is, I don't know why it's not loading. Okay, that's a bad slide, but it's okay. This is it's their site. Who these guys are? They're an IT consultancy that they're very big. They work with JP Morgan, BNP Paribas, Sincere Systems. They work with a lot of huge corporates around the world that I sometimes like to say control the world. So they're quite serious. Morgan Stanley right there, I can see. They're huge. Another thing to keep in mind is that Sincere Systems actually has licenses for all the activities that they do. They can be accessed through the link you can see on the slide. There are 4 licenses that Sincere Systems has, which is the other information technology service activities, activities of investment trusts, activities of open-ended investment companies, and administration of financial markets. These are the activities that they are legally allowed to do, which again is part of the internal aspect and our little analysis and overview of what the company is internally. Because I can sit here and tell you that you're going to make a lot of money, but you're still going to be like, what's actually going on? And so this is what we're doing now. So the company's registered capital, the fact that they have registered capital is fantastic. I love that. £5 million just says a lot about how serious the company is, and it really promotes the fact that this company can be taken seriously, on the market. Something to consider for any investor, even new or professional. It has the safety standard, the LEI, International Legal Entity Identifier. It's a unique code assignable to a legal entity, in this case Sincere Systems, in accordance with international standards. So this safety standard basically says that all transactions that happen on Sincere Systems, according to ISO 17442, which is an international standard, is completely legal and works perfectly. It's completely safe to use. This is really important as well, because not every company can get it. This is also a cool thing about Sincere Systems. So what's the mission? To create a global financial ecosystem which allows each partner to use innovation services and earn on them. So the ecosystem, we're going to be talking about three aspects. I'm going to be talking about the trading aspect, which I believe is the most important aspect. The financial ecosystem of Sincere Systems, and I will touch upon pharmaceutical. They do have one of the directions that they follow, but I don't want to spend too much time. I want to spend more time on the trading and financial aspects and ecosystem. So trading, let's talk about trading. This is the investment offer of the company. We've got on the right-hand corner, we've got the average profitability per month. So if we write down, 15% or 15.5% on average the company makes per month, the amount you invest into the company will determine how much of that 15% you're going to get. So if you've invested an amount of, let's say, $10,000, right? So, or sorry, $5,000, for example, you got $5,000 invested. You get 70% of the company income. And this is the big confusion. People sometimes read this and they're like, 70% per month, this is insane. Of course, that's insane. And that doesn't exist. And anyone who tells you that they can make you 70% per month is, I'm not going to say the word, the word. That is impossible. That is physically, I don't know what other ways this can be possible. It's not possible. You cannot do that unless you have a betting company and you bet on sports, which means you're just gambling basically, or you own a casino and you just want to blow your clients' money. That's the only time you're going to make 70% per month. So don't confuse that. In Sincere Systems, you get 70% of the company income, which is 15%. 70% of 15.5% is approximately 10.5, 11%, I believe. So your passive income for that month, if you invest $5,000 today in Sincere Systems, will get you 10 to 11% per month. Now we're going to talk a little more about that. This is just what they offer. So you can invest from $100 to $500, $500 to $1,500, $5,000 to $10,000, and so on and so forth. The more you invest, the more company profit you get to keep for yourself. So if you invest $50,000, you get 85% off the 15.5% that the company makes, which is really cool because that's like 13.5% passive income. That's pretty good. You really get your returns. You get more than $5,000 a month. That's pretty huge. Now, these are the trust management trading statistics for the existence of the company, right? We can see that, sometimes the company, these are the company profits, mind you. So this is what we talked about before. The average is about 15%, and it goes up to around 26 per month, sometimes goes down to 9 or 8. It all depends on the volatility of the market. It all depends on the market, and it depends how well the AI bot that trades for your portfolio and creates your portfolio, how well it makes money. And that's how the company makes money. And that's it's pretty clear. There's not too much to explain here, but here are the statistics. You can pause the video later on when it is saved on the channel. We're going to move on. Average profitability, as I mentioned, was 15%. This is something I already spoke about. So here we can see that according to the statistic that the company makes 15.5%, we're going to be making the following percentages depending on how much we invest. So if we invest $10,000, we're going to make 75% of the 15%, which is equal to 11.6%. And so this little calculator should, you can, I don't know, screenshot this if you're interested. This is pretty useful. But I mean, it all depends again on the percentage that the company makes. So it's not going to make 15.5 every month. It can make 14, it can make 17, it can make 10, it depends. Compound interest. Let's talk about the eighth wonder of the world, right? And I'm going to be talking about this in the next webinar as well. The next webinar is in about 45 minutes. I got a back-to-back webinar today. I'm going to be talking about more detail about this specific compound interest aspect. So let's just assume Bob invests $500 and he gets the percentage of 9.3%. If the company makes 15.5 again, 15.5%, Bob will get 9.3% passive income. Therefore, Bob will earn in his fourth month $46.5, right? He reinvests this money and now his deposit is worth $546.5. Again, the next month he gets 9.3% of $546. It's 50.8. As you can see, if you reinvest the money over time, it grows much faster. So instead of you taking out $46.5 every single month, you reinvest it, and the next month you're actually going to have a bigger income and a bigger income and a bigger income. And we can see that by month 10, Bob actually makes way more than a little bit more, than $500. So he actually makes back his deposit in addition to making a little money on top. And you can see that in month 1, he makes with the same deposit, he's not adding any money here. He's just reinvesting. You know, he's got $500. He makes $46.5, and on month 10, he's got his passive income has increased by 2 times, more than 2 times. You know, so his passive income in the first month is $46. His passive income on month 10, just because he reinvested this money, is $103. Now that's really cool, and I see why people call it the eighth wonder of the world. Obviously, we're going to talk some more numbers now. And you'll see why this is really cool, because the first month, sure, you know, you're making 500. We end the year with $1,452. That's great, but we can turn $500 into $16,000 in 3 years if we start with $500. Obviously, if we start with a bigger amount, we're going to make more money, you know, in the shortest period of time. Let's continue. So Bob now has approximately $1,500. He falls into the category of $1,500 to $5,000, which gives him 10% passive income. How did I calculate that? The level of $1,500 to $5,000, which is 65% of the company income. We know that the company income on average is 15.5, which means 65% of that 15% is 10%, right? So 10% is the passive income that Bob is going to be making. So Bob now has $1,500. He's really happy. He's made back a lot of his money, and he keeps reinvesting. You know, $1,500 now gives him 10%, not 9.3, 10%. And already from the first month, he's getting $150. And he reinvests and reinvests and reinvests and turns, by the end of the year, turns $1,500 into $4,700. Great, right? So let's assume that Bob left $500 for 2 years. He will turn this $500 into $4,700. If he had started with a deposit of $1,500 in 3 years, this would have turned into $60K. And that's the fun part, you know? And now we're going to go on to the next slide, and you're going to see why this is so cool. So if you invest $5,000, or you already have $5,000 on the deposit, you fall into the category of 70 to 30. 70-30 gives you 70% of the company income. Company income is 15.5%, which means we're making what? 10.85% per month. And $5,000 will give you $542.5 in a single month passive income. By the end of the year, you will grow your $5,000 to $17,800. Now, $5,000 reinvested for 3 years, if you don't touch it, obviously we all have different situations, but if you do that, $5,000 in 3 years reinvested in compound interest gives you 315 grand. Now, this is, you get what I'm talking about. This is a whole nother level, and we really do understand why they call it the eighth wonder of the world. Let's continue. You know, we got the indicators of profitability. This slide I like to call, you know, it's sort of an example of simple and compound interest. So we've got simple interest, and it shows us that, you know, you take all the profit percentages of the company and you just, you know, add them up instead of calculating them as reinvested opportunity, and the company basically reinvesting and putting in the compound interest factor, they're actually going to be making about 280%. But if you take all the money that the company's been making and put it into the compound percentage, this is just an example. Again, this is just so you understand the difference. If you take all that profit and you reinvest it over this same period of time, you're actually making 1,280%. So the difference is 5 times fold, you know? So you could turn your $500 into $1,400 in a year, or you could turn it into $1,400 in 3 years or 4 years. You know, it's up to you to decide. It's completely your choice. There are ways to work around the diversification and so on and so forth. Now, great slide. No, I'm kidding. I'm not going to be staying too long in the pharmaceutical aspect of the company because I'm more into the, you know, the investment part, but this is also an investment. Don't get me wrong. Let's go through it really quickly. So we know that the market size of cannabis has been growing because it has, you know, it started being regulated, started being legalized, and is estimated to be worth around 340 billion US dollars, which is a whole lot of money. More than 50 countries worldwide have legalized some forms of medical cannabis, whether it's in medicine, whether it's, you know, smoke form, and whatever it is you do with it. Now, the assessment that the company has held is that it will cost them over 50 million euros in case the whole project realization comes about. So the expected company capitalization while launching IPO is within 100 million euro. This is the expected income of this specific project. The plan is the company is registered already. These things are all done. Company is registered in Portugal, SPV, special purpose vehicle. Approval of the cultivation project linked to the location and particular premises. Obtaining the license on processing and cultivation, cultivating the high in THC and selling it to European, USA, Canada, Australian markets, dry weight distribution to pharmaceutical companies, and so on. These are the production rounds, and yeah, so this is the investment aspect to it. You can also take a look at it. It's pretty interesting. And those are the dividends on the right-hand corner. 70 to 100% on dividends on raw product selling, and income on shares is times 10, times 20, times 30 fold. You can take a look on the Sincere Systems platform if you're already registered or you haven't registered yet, or your partners want to register. They can find all the information there as well. Let's talk about Sincere Pay. So let's talk about the financial ecosystem. We've gone through the trading aspect. We've gone through how we can make the money, you know, what the percentages are. Let's talk about the Sincere Pay, the financial ecosystem created by the Sincere Systems Group. Sincere Pay encompasses, you know, 3 aspects, 3 very important aspects, which is the SNT token, an internal token, which I will explain next slide. The S wallet, which is the Sincere Systems wallet, a separate wallet system created by Sincere Systems Group. The reason why it's treated separately as a separate application is for safety purposes. It allows users to safely store their crypto, their income, you know, they even have a card option. You can even get a Sincere Systems card, by the way. So that's really cool. And sometimes, you know, the website, it needs to be maintained, needs to be worked on, some changes need to be made so that you always have full access to the wallet system. It is on a separate system. A separate tab opens and allows you to access Sincere Wallet. The S blockchain is the Sincere blockchain. So not a lot of companies can boast this, and this is why I really respect Sincere Systems, is that they have built their own blockchain system. Now, those of you who know a lot about blockchain know that it may not be too difficult to implement, but the fact that an investment company with an AI robot that trades on the foreign exchange market has a blockchain system is some new. This is literally the epitome of financial digitalization. Like, this is like the epitome of the last 10 years. You know, we've got an AI robot on his own blockchain system with a utility token that, you know, grows in price because more people start using it. It's really cool. Sorry, I started, you know, getting flustered. I love the topic. So the SNT token is a utility token that's used within Sincere ecosystem for secure, transparent, and instant financial transactions performance. I think that's pretty clear. The token is used, yes, to upkeep the blockchain system and allow you to have very quick transactions, you know, within the system, within the wallet, to other wallets, and wherever it is you're sending these transactions. You can also stake them, but we're going to talk about that later. The S wallet is a multifunctional payment system enabling to conduct any kinds of operations with crypto and fiat currencies worldwide. So you can actually use the S wallet just as a wallet system, you know, not necessarily, you know, have to invest everything you put into your wallet. You know, you can just walk around and have it. It's great. It's a great wallet system because I have to say that the speed of transactions is pretty good, and the exchange, you know, they have lots of options. You know, they've got You know, they've got the basic top coins, you know, Tron, Bitcoin, Ethereum, USDT. What else do you need? And they have obviously their utility token you can buy there. Yes, and the fiat currencies that you buy the packages with. So S-Wallet advantages: functionality, buy, store, convert cryptocurrencies. It's very secure, it's very fast, it's very convenient. We get it. You're awesome, S-Wallet. Slides a bit, that's really weird. Okay, make any kinds of payments with the use of S-Wallet debit card. So the S-Wallet debit card is, as I mentioned, there is such a thing. You can have this card and it actually has all of your currencies that you keep on it. So you can have Bitcoin on that card. It's really cool. The S blockchain is a private blockchain new generation network intended to ensure transparency, security, high productivity, and low transaction costs at all the stages of cooperation with the ecosystem. Already talked about that. So the investment offer of sincere staking in SNT. So you can actually stake your utility tokens and earn more utility tokens in the process. What staking means is you're freezing the SNT tokens that you have bought a certain amount. So a minimal amount is 10,000 SNT, which is not dollars. And one SNT token, I believe now is 14 cents. 14 cents, that's right. So 10,000 SNT tokens for 30 days. And within that 30 days, you get rewarded with more SNT tokens. So you're basically mining yourself more SNT tokens, which you can then sell, exchange for whatever currency you want. Pretty cool. To keep over, if you have 500 SNT tokens on, if you're on the free package, right, you just registered on the system, you can keep a maximum of 500 SNT tokens at one time. You know, if you have more SNT tokens in your wallet from the income you receive in SNT, this income automatically the next day transfers to dollar. It transfers to fiat currency. Why? Because in order to keep large amounts of SNT tokens, the company obviously you know, has a subscription that you need to pay. So if you want to keep 10,000 SNT tokens on your account, you have to pay the standard subscription fee, and so on and so forth. The partner program. Now, this is very interesting. A lot of you know, a lot of people want to understand how else they can make money, how else they can, you know, increase their passive income. And obviously, we know that a lot of companies, especially in the investment, you know, scheme, you know, it's sort of the investment, how do you say, direction, industry, or whatever, cannot directly market their products online, right? If partly because, you know, the banks don't like it. The official, you know, government banks, they're not a fan of investment companies advertising their, you know, their profits and the percentages that they make online. I'm not going to get into the like conspiracy theories and who this is good for and who this is bad for, but any business needs marketing. And for Sincere Systems, like many other companies, marketing is through referral. Tell your friend, word of mouth, and so on and so forth. Where can you make money on this and you can start earning as well is if you actually work with marketing the company, you can actually get paid bonuses. So if you're a level 1, you've invested $100, you have not, you know, referred the company or shown anyone the instrument, then obviously you haven't got any team turnover and you don't get a bonus. If you are level 4, it means that you have invested at least $100. You have a team turnover of $25,000, which is, let's just say you signed up 25 people who invested $1,000. Your team now has $25,000 in it, including your $100. For a $25,000 team turnover, the company will pay out $1,000 as a reward. Obviously, the rewards go higher and higher and higher and go up exponentially, along with the effort that you need to put in for marketing the product. So this is simply a way for people to make extra income. Apart from the income that you make through investing in the company, you can also make separate sort of what some of my friends who are networking, you know, they call it like business. You know, this is also a business for them, and this is great. You know, and this is a business model that works, and you know, it could help. It helps a lot of people get into investing, and you're making a little money because you're marketing the product. You know, it's the same everywhere. So you can see that at level 9, we've got $3 million turnover and an investment of $30,000 will get you $150,000 bonus from the company. And that's huge. I haven't seen any other company pay out bonuses of, you know, $1 million or $500,000 for marketing the company. You know, that's like bigger than any salary you're going to receive within a 10-year period, like period, you know. So get second and third marketing levels today. So you can actually level up today just by investing, with the availability of summarily $3,000 of your own deposits, you already become level 2. What I also forgot to mention, by the way, is the percentages that you see on top. I forgot to talk about that. So these are the percentages that you receive of the income that your partners make. For example, Bob brought about, John, and John put in $1,000. And now John makes, $100 per month because he put in $1,000. He's making $100 per month. Because Bob brought John, over and showed him this instrument, and he invested and he referred him, Bob gets whatever percentage is listed on the income data table from that $100. So John earns $100. Bob makes, let's say, 5% of that $100. So $5, 7%, 10.5%, 12%, and so on and so forth. So the bigger your team, the more money you actually make from the income that they receive. So you're not taking any money from anyone. The company isn't paying you out from anyone's wallets. This is an income distribution, set. This is the income data table that shows you that, you get a percentage of the profits received by your partners as a reward for, taking care of them, showing them what's what, spending time with them, and, helping them understand the system. Because this is not something, an advertisement can explain. Like everything I've said in this webinar, this is not something you can go put on a billboard and say, hey, you know what, invest and you get 10%. First of all, that's not allowed. Like in a lot of countries, that's not allowed. You're not allowed to promote this kind of stuff. Not because it's illegal, it's legal. It's just, it's not good for the local banking system. Otherwise everyone will just start investing their money in investment instruments, and they won't go to our banks. Anyways, I hope no one heard that. No, I'm kidding. Anyways, I hope you got that. So with the availability of $10,000 in personal deposits, if you just put $10,000, you automatically get level 3, and you get 9% off the income that is received by your partners, which is great. You can level up by yourself, basically. In terms of withdrawal about the money, this is a huge question that pops up. So the company protects itself by having a freezing period for your deposit. Now, it sounds scary for a lot of people. Well, I'm freezing my money. Don't be scared. You're freezing your money in every single bank that we know. If you put something in the savings account in a bank, you probably can't take it out for a year or two, or whatever it is agreement that you're on. Some savings accounts allow you to do that, but I'm sorry. Do you want 10% per month, or do you want 4% or 5% per year? Makes sense, right? So available for withdrawal from the 4th month. So if I invest $1,000, this $1,000 is my deposit, and this deposit can be withdrawn completely if I really need it to be withdrawn after the 4th month. Before the 4th month, you cannot take this deposit out. Keep in mind that from the 4th month till the 12th month, so from month 4 of your deposit to the end of the year, you can take it out, but you have to pay a commission of 15%. So a 15% commission of $1,000 is $150. So you can take out that deposit, but you're gonna have to keep $150 as commission for the company. And after a year has passed on your deposit, you can safely take out the entire deposit with no commission and whatever. Keep in mind that all the income that you receive every single month, right, from the 1st month counting, you can take out straight away. So as soon as you receive it, you can take it out. This is withdrawal of deposits. The only question we have here is withdrawing the actual deposit. There is no issues with the partner rewards that you receive, the bonuses that you receive, the income that you receive, the passive income that you receive from your deposit. You can take that out every single month, starting from the 1st month. But obviously the company, it is a business at the end of the day, and they are protecting themselves. Think about it. Imagine there's like 100 people in Sincere Systems who have, $1 million or $10 million accounts. And all of a sudden, all 10 people, decide to take their money out at the same time. So they go into the company, they fund the investment portfolio of the company, and all of a sudden, on the same day, they take out their money. I mean, the company will pay it out. There's no issue with that. It's just the company is protecting itself because people come in at different dates, right? So when people do need to take out deposits, that money is always available. You know, it's more for for your safety, for my safety, and the company's safety, so that everyone is happy and no one, you know, starts thinking, oh, the company, why can't they pay me today? I wanted to withdraw my deposit today. They can, no problem. You either pay a commission or you wait a year and then you can take out your entire deposit. No problem with that. Right, our achievements. So we actually have 2 partners who have reached team turnover of $25 million and received $1 million each as reward. So this is insane. We actually have 2 people who have done that. We have 1 person who has reached level 10, which is $10 million team turnover, and has received a $500,000 bonus. So when people ask me, so how does this company market itself? There you go. This is the answer. You know, this is the marketing behind the company. You know, when sometimes companies spend on billboards, they spend on, you know, TV advertisements. Here you're spending it on rewarding your clients and your investors for spreading the word and, you know, working with people and helping them understand what the company is about. I think that's a pretty fair, you know, pretty fair logical marketing scheme, you know. Anyways, thank you for watching the webinar. We actually have another webinar that is lined up in 10 minutes. The second link is posted on my Telegram channel and whatever. Thank you for joining this webinar, and I'll see you next time. Okay, yo, Serge, Anastasia, how are you?